And we've somehow thrown away a 2-goal lead against 10 men at the beginning of the second half to lose 3-2 in a county cup match against RAYNERS LANE. Talk to me, how did that happen?
We can't defend. For me, I just said it in there. We just, if you look at the 4 of our last collection of goals conceded in 2 games have come from crosses into the box where we haven't got not even a toe on it, let alone a head on the end of a cross into our box. That kind of sums up where we're at. I think the second goal comes from someone not doing their job from set piece on the edge of the box. You can't expect to win football matches. I just said it in there. Everyone can talk about the transition, the process. New manager, new players, new system. The last 6 weeks in terms of where not just the changing room's been at, but the club's been at. Everyone can talk about that, but that means absolutely nothing for me, and I don't really care about bringing all of those kind of off the back of a performance like that you would call them excuses, because that is not acceptable. It's really not, and that's not acceptable in any side at any level, and it's certainly not acceptable in my side, and that's kind of what's been shared with the changing room at the end of the game.
The first half was positive in many ways. We scored a goal. They had a player sent off just before the break. Nico then scores at the start of the second half. So there were positives, and their goalkeeper was excellent. But it's really frustrating times. It's not your team at the moment. So will there be more players coming in? How long will it take before it's your team that we're seeing?
I think across the 2 games, in terms of positives, you can see that there are some. There's no denying that. It's just hard to kind of really take them in, especially on the back of it's probably slightly easier to take them on Saturday, because I thought it was its first game. We had a lot of players out of position. We had 3 centre halves out there tonight, so there's no excuses on that part. Yes, it's again, you can say it's not our team, but these are players playing the level. They should be able to. At half time we said, control the game. You're playing against 10. We've come out there looking like we've got 9 and they've got 15. The way they controlled the game, and credit to them, they controlled it. They were, at 2-0 down. They weren't going home. They were coming, straight back down our throats. I think, the young keeper was, for me, one of the best players on the pitch. And that kind of, we can talk about defending, but we also there's chances there where we should be punishing them a lot more. In terms of it not being our team, there's no denying that. Unfortunately, during the season, it's not easy to kind of make changes. In the summer, you can kind of take the core of, if you are to move clubs, you can take the core of your group that's kind of going to go and get around the changing room and be that bit of glue, and kind of share your ideas, because they know it. And mid-season, you can't do that, and it's that's why that kind of phase of this job is going to be a slow process, because and not everybody will know, fans listening, there's things called 7-day approaches, and mid-season, where clubs we're getting towards a stage where the league starts settling, so clubs are fighting for playoff places, clubs are fighting for league titles, but also you look where we are, clubs are fighting for to stay in league, so people losing players is not easy to do at this stage of the season. So there's all those kind of things that kind of throw a few barriers in your way of just changing a team around and making it yours. So that is going to be a slow process, but the second half performance is all of those kind of things get put to bed. That ain't acceptable. Really isn't.
In our position now in the league, every game becomes ever more important.
Yeah.
This weekend we've got a local derby against Wingate and Finchley's side, who are also struggling. They've also lost at least six on the trot now. How do you prepare this team on the back of another heavy defeat ahead of this game?
Well, first thing I just asked them, after what we've kind of gone over the result that just happened, asked, how many players in that change have been involved in a Wingate against Hendon game. 3 put their hands up. Got them to kind of, back me up in terms of how important of a game that is. I've been involved in a few myself as a coach. It's not only for the changing room but for both clubs. It's a huge game for fans, for board members, for players, for management staff. It's a huge game, and we kind of we go into that game where not only have we got to look after ourselves in terms of league position and getting a bit of a bounce back, but we've also got to look after ourselves in terms of preparing for a big local derby. So there's a lot on the line for that, and if there's one thing that I can take from tonight is that every player going home tonight knows how important that game is, not just for our league position. So that's something that we'll keep being stressed to them, because I know how much of a big game it is, whether you're top of the league or you're where we are. So yeah, that'll be kind of stress to them, and we'll be going into that looking to give us a chance of not only winning a local derby but also getting some points on the board. That's the kind of focus for Saturday.
In the box, go on, Jaden. Open cookie! Step! Yeah! Step! Come on! Stefan Illich! Stefan Illich! Step! Step! Hendon, brilliant! Run, Frank, run! Good decision! Go on, Frank! He's missed it, Frank! Go on, Frank! Yeah! Let's go! Hendon! This is you, big man! Oh! Yeah!